Hey there, my name is Giulia, it's spelled Giulia, and welcome to my channel. As you can see probably by the title, this is going to be an intense video. I don't know the title yet, but I know what I'm doing. I just haven't written it yet, but I will. This is going to be about my first experience, my only experience in psychiatric center. You can also call it psych ward, but I don't think psychiatric, no, not center, but psychiatric department may be better, like more normal. I don't know, but either way you want to call it, it's fine. This probably, well, it is an intense video and took a lot to me to actually be able to make it and put it out there, because it is a pretty personal story, and this happened during the school year. It started on May 14th, when it was actually Pi Day. No, March 14th, when it was actually Pi Day, and I was there in the psychiatric department or psych ward for a week, I think 7 days, and it was very intense. And it's like people have asked me like where I've been for a week during school and such, and like this is my story, and like things that have happened before, for why the reason for why I was put there. I saw a bit the backstory. Think I said a bit in the other videos how at times it was hard for me to go to school, do the homework, be in the right mindset, how I would go home after school and like have a bit like ruminating thoughts, not really be able to concentrate as much on like actually doing homework, and like my mind was not in the, I was not in the best mindset to begin with, and if I tried to do the homework, most of the time I would not finish, and a bit an occurrence was one of these days, and I was not really feeling my best, and I was able to finish some math homework, and so all of those days like been upset about it, but also not being able to finish it, and then still going to bed, but then worrying in the morning. And then this morning I was a bit freaking out, and I was like, I knew I couldn't miss school again, and I had to go even though I didn't really want to go, and I just was feeling a lot, and I ate breakfast just like it was a normal day and everything. But then when it came to like in the mindset, like make your book bag, like go to the bathroom, get ready, things like that, that's when I really started to get nervous and such. So then I had not the best thoughts at the moment. I was like under a lot of stress and pressure, at least that's what it felt like, and I started thinking about doing something, and that is when I had written something. So it was so this was some days before it was not March 14th, but it was some days before it was. So I wrote this on at 6:27 a.m. Thursday, March 8, 2018, and I wrote, "I am a failure, I can't do anything right, and I don't want to be alive. Nothing is worth it no more." And I had written this just before I had some thoughts of trying to cut myself. I have never done it before, and at times when I not was doing better, but not feeling as much, like some of my thoughts like you're not even able to hurt yourself, so you're not really even depressed, you're not really hurting enough. Sometimes I felt like that, but like at that times I felt very guilty and that it was my fault and I was just making everything worse, and like I deserved it. But then I thought more, or trying to think of it more clearly, saying like, no, this is bad, it's just going to show my parents will see all those kind of things, just make everything worse, so I even do it. So I didn't do it, but doesn't mean I was not freaking out anymore. I still was like very tense and stressed, and I probably scratched my face a lot. And then I went to the bathroom and such, but like it was already like getting late and time for school, and I was just sitting there like on the toilet and like not really hurting myself, like scratching a bit my thighs, but like I wasn't doing any real damage. It was just like tense and nervous, like I needed to let something out. But then like my mom asking like what's happened, why you're getting out, the things like that. And then as more intense as I got, and I think I started to cry and such, and I was really, then my mom and my dad like both like, why are you getting out, what's the problem, things like that, like we kind of like yelling at me, and we felt like all that pressure and not really know what to say even before, like even trying to say that I thought about, you know, trying to calm myself and all of that, because how bad I was feeling, how guilty, how I feel like I didn't deserve all of. I had made myself get in a situation. I ruined everything to some extent. I felt very guilty for everything. I just couldn't say anything, so I didn't say anything. I just kept crying and sobbing, like covering myself. I was a mess, or like snob and such. So that happened. So like my parents even tried to pull me out of the bathroom, but they wouldn't budge, so I stayed home for the day, but never really told them what happened. So like that had happened before, like a bit the backstory about the intensity of my situation and such. And also like in school, like kind of felt isolated, like isolating myself and things like that. I took some conversations with like a group of friends that I knew and things like that, but like I wasn't really much around others and like having fun and really like just talking, having fun with friends, not really being out there to some extent. And how I've said before that I had moved to this school like 2 days before Thanksgiving, so it was my like a new school for me. It was more than before, so like I didn't feel completely surrounded by people I knew, and most like no one really knew what was going on. So then after on this day, that was March 14th, that like a similar thing had happened, but my mom like wouldn't let me go to wouldn't let me miss school and go to school, wouldn't let me miss any more school days, because I'd already missed a lot because of how I was feeling and such. But I was having another of those days kind of things. I didn't really want to get out of bed, didn't really want to do anything. I hadn't finished my homework, and I just didn't really feel motivated, didn't feel good about how I was feeling and things like that. And so like I tried to say, I didn't like mom, I didn't feel mom asking like what's going on. I was trying to tell her, oh, I didn't want to go, all of these things, I didn't feel motivated, didn't feel happy anymore, like what is even a point of living, those kind of feelings that I really felt deep and intensity. But I knew she wouldn't let me, and like I didn't say that I don't want to go to school. I didn't explain why, nor the reasoning behind it, and all these other things. So then like I didn't want to go to school, but kind of my mom like forced me, and then my brother took me to school. I didn't really want to go, so in the car I kind of kept quiet, and all the things I couldn't say to the to my mom, like looking her in the face and like speaking these words, I kind of like texted her while my brother was driving me to school, and about how I was feeling. And then when we arrived like to the parking lot of the school and such, like I was supposed to get out and go to school, but I instead locked the car, and like, my brother was trying to get me to go out, and like the security guards of the school came and other people, and then they even like would like sob, not wanting to talk to anybody, like not really speak it. But then they brought in one of my teachers, my Italian teacher, to try to get me to convince me to leave the car. and go to school, but I didn't really want to go. But I don't like to cry in front of other people, like being in the situation, and like I didn't like the feeling of my talent teacher seeing me in this way, and I eventually batched to go to school and to class, had a math class to go to in the morning, like first period for class, and I didn't want to go, but I felt a bit embarrassed, ashamed, like how my Italian teacher like saw me like that so low, and I felt just very vulnerable, like being in the situation. So I badged and I went to class, and like I was already like, or kind of not, when you cry you're like a bit of red your eyes, and like it wasn't completely like I'm so happy, like I'm smiling, and like you could see that I had been crying, and somewhat was, and tried to wipe my tears before like all my classmates saw me, and like I came in, my math teacher like hugged me, and I went to sit, and like maybe like I don't know if other people were talking like what just had happened, why is she like this. So that was a bit the beginning of everything. Then then after lunch that day I was still in class and everything. um, I would be, it was the next class, and I went to that class during fifth period, but then I was called to the office that I was coming home, and I was shocked, like, why is that? And I thought maybe, and then I went to the office of the school, and then my parents were there, my dad, my mom, and like, I think maybe even the school principal, and maybe the counselor. I don't know if other people, but then like mostly like the people in charge. And then like my dad, because I had sent those texts in the morning to my mom in Italian because I'm Italian, and then my dad was supposed to leave for a plane for work, but then he was there as well, and he told me like, oh, like I read the text and such, and then how the school, I don't remember who, if it was the principal, the counselor, or someone like that, had 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 suggested to my parents, and now they were suggested to me if I wanted to go to the hospital to see like someone like in the psychiatric realm spectrum of the hospital, like a psychiatric department, psych ward, things like that. So now, since I know I wasn't doing okay, I wasn't doing that great, I was not okay to a great extent, you can say. I badged in. I say okay, and like then we went to the hospital, and my mom like on the way when we like, not in the waiting room, but before you go in and such, you wait to see the dog, like you wait to even go into the room. My mom just started like crying and sobbing, and I then see her reaction, all the things that had happened that day, and like how I was feeling and such, that I started crying a bit like quietly and such. I tried to cover it up because they really wanted to see me like that. And then we got like and they had asked me like several like nurses like asked me like things, have you ever like cut yourself or other things, and I said no and things like that. But then when they have, I think they asked, have you ever tried to hurt yourself, or like have you ever hurt yourself, like I said, because my parents were in the room with me and they didn't know about what had happened on March 8th, that day in the morning when I had brought the other thing and I'd thought other things. So then I said softly, yeah, yes. And then my parents were like, what did you do? What did you do? And then all those questioning happened, and then we were moved to another room where we waited for 7 hours in the waiting room, well, to see if I was severe enough. I don't really know exactly, in a state where it would be better for me to actually be sent or like be taken to like the psychiatric department, the hospital, to stay. So then like for those 7 hours my parents, mostly my mom, were like, so like what happened, like trying to talk to me about what actually happened and such, but I really was not in the mood to explain and talk about that. I was still like not really know what to say and such, so I did feel like kind of tired and such, so like I was trying to make any excuse to not really like have that conversation, talk about another topic and such. So I would sleep, look at the other way, things like that, and try to pass my time in other ways. So then eventually I was taken into like the department. It was already pretty late, and I don't know if it got there like around 7 or 8 in the department finally. Um, and yeah, it was intense, and it was not a horrible experience, but it was pretty intense, everything and all that happened before it and also during I was there. And I think, as I said before, like around a week, 7 days I've been there. Like my first experience there, like I don't know if I should say this or if this is too much. Like most of the people there were there for like things related to depression, more psychiatric things, and I think some also like a bit anger management issues and things related to that. The youngest person there was 8 years old, and I was actually the oldest there so far. I was 17, and it felt kind of weird like being the oldest one there, because I didn't really think I was like, I know you don't have to be the oldest to have the most severe case and things like, but like I felt how a bit my case was not as bad as theirs, that kind of comparison thing I guess, but kind of got over it, never really said anything like that, but I was a bit shocked when we would have like group therapy based on age. I think it was like from I think it was like 15 to 17. It was like one group therapy, then from 8 years old to like 14, or like there sometimes were 2 groups or 3 groups where they would divide us, and then we have like group therapy and such. That was my first time. We'd have group therapy every day, and I did kind of like that because you would learn a lot about other people, like where they have been, then you could connect and feel as alone, and I did really like the type of connection and such. Other than group therapy, we would wake up very early, I think around 7 o'clock, and then we like not on school days, we would have like school, like I think it was 1 hour or 2 hours. It was very little school, and it wasn't really as intense, and we had like all different groups, and it was interesting and it was lighter compared to actual school, but the teacher was nice and she was interesting. I had a harsh past, and she explained like where she's been, how she's moved on, and she liked to help us and things like that. So after that, then we would have group, and then after, like there was some time we would just a bit sit and like hang out, and then we would have lunch, and in the afternoon it depended what we did and stuff like that. And also like we had roommates, 2 people per room it was, and in every room there was a bathroom, but like things that you can have in the room, like how the room was like, and also there were cameras in every room but not in the bathroom. So like in the room, so like they would always like keep an eye on us and see like what we were doing, and there were a lot of nurses and things like that. So in the room, like for the there was not a door for the bathroom, it was like just a curtain, but also it was attached to the velcro, so it wouldn't like if you pulled hard it would like come off. So like taking precautions so people would not actually get hurt, try to hang themselves, like things like that, which I personally would not think of doing in a place like that, but you never know, people with more severe cases and other things going on, you don't know if they might attempt to do similar things. And also like on our clothes we couldn't have any strings or sharp objects. We could not even bring pencils to the room because like the point and such, and like we were watched, and like what we could have, what we couldn't have on us, and things like that a lot of the time. And we had like the scheduling to stick to certain things and follow the rules. And also some of the rules were like, you what was it, like I think you cannot like touch other people, like not even like a handshake or something like that, even though still happen sometimes, because like some people might have like some traumatic events that not really like being touched, or that can make them feel uncomfortable, which I understand. But like some people, like, can't you just even like say hi, like hello someone, like hug them, like it's not the end of the world, you know. And they got mad at me and my roommate because like she's really good at art and a messy drawer and all of that. So like and also you cannot have any phones or electronics and things like that. You cannot have headphones because you know string and other things like that. So like I couldn't do my Scooby Doos, which are like, and also I had to take this off because you know there is string, you never know what might happen, which kind of bothered me because I had this for a long time. I'm happy that it isn't, also I could take it off and things like that. Oh yeah, it was me and my roommate, and like we were sitting on her bed. She was showing me like her sketchbook, like how it was, and then a nurse came and she got mad because like we were too close together and we had to separate, and like that doesn't really make much sense because we're just talking about sketchbook and art. We're bonding and we're just becoming friends, and I did become friends with her. Like she was really nice, just 1 year like younger than me, and went to a school that I used to go to, and she's really nice and friendly, and we bonded, like, got along great. And sometimes we would like even like talk like like there are two beds of course, like when we were in bed together, and I kind of like the feeling of going, or like not having the electronics, or was like, you know, in not in the way, but it does affect your life a lot of the electronics all the time. Like taking a break from electronics, it was nice. And then just actually talking, like it's very easy to get to know people, to have actual conversation with people over there, because they all in some way understand what you're going through, because they're all going through like similar things, and like getting to know people was much easier and faster. Also because you had to open up and things like that. And the food was not that great. And also another thing was that I think, yeah, 2 times, or was it one? Maybe once, I don't remember. Like they also had different types of therapy. There was music therapy, which is like kind of created a song as a group, like changed like from an original song. We changed the words to the song with some instruments. Some people came, I think, college students, I don't know exactly. And then also it was like I don't know if it was no, it was not acting therapy, just like an acting teacher, like went to play some games and such. And like one of my favorite kinds of therapy was animal therapy, even it was just dog therapy, to be honest, because it was just our dogs. It would have like there also like to be cats, and like not only dogs are animals that you can use for therapy, but there were only dogs. And also like one of the what do you call, like one of the owners there, like I just know that you can go there and like pet the dogs and things like that. Like there will be the owner there, and they will be on leash, you know, get to know the dogs, have like animal connections with them. She made a drawing of her dog, and like I asked for a drawing or something. She made a drawing of the dog and like wrote the name of the dog. So like I have it over here. Like this is the signature of the owner, or like I think her name was Vicky. Then like the name of the dog Houdini, which seems like a weird name to me, but anyways, like here it is, which is like good memories. And also like here, like this is a sketchbook that I have this is mostly for school, but I touched other things as well. I also have like because like to keep record of us like in the morning, like to have the record of us, like in the hospital you ever have like the hand but the wristbands. We had that with like a code, like so they would scan us. So like while we're like half awake or like kind of sleeping, they would go into our rooms in the morning and like put the finger under her tongue to check for the temperature, and then put around the arm for like the what's it called, like is it the heartbeat? I think so. Or like to see what is our pressure and such. So like I kept you cannot really see it because like watching our hands and such, but there is this is the like the bracelet that I had on when I was keeping as memories and things that happened. And another like one of the people that like one of the girls that I met that I was nice, and like when we had like our free time we could have like papers and draw and things like that, but most of the time you had to bring your own colors, but I had some colors. Okay, she made like an origami swan for me and we became friends. I had told her to sign it, but I covered the name, so you see how nice it is, and just attached it. So like this. And then also talking about people there, my roommate who is amazing at drawing, she's amazing at drawing, especially where she was my roommate. No, she's not still is, but in there she is. Okay, so she's really good at drawing and like realistic drawing, especially like with pencil, and like we were allowed like small pencil. We had no eraser because apparently you can eat that, and it's not good for you because like just as a safety hazard, like everything there with no string and such. But like just like the IKEA in Italian, like here is IKEA apparently in the United States, like those are like half pencil, like small pencil. They would give us that. And since she's really good at drawing, I'm not really good at drawing eyes and such, and I wanted to learn. So like I brought my sketchbook after seeing hers. Like here's this lesson and the dates and such. She was the one who made this side. Look how nice it is. Like I covered the names because I don't know, I just don't want them to see it just in case. It's really polite. So she made this amazing eye. And then this was the thread that I did. The comparison, she made this, I made that, and then after like patients, or I don't know if you say patients, but after the people there, like, oh, that's nice, can I do one too and such. So I let them, and another girl there, after seeing those, she had made this eye, and then another person had made this and such, and this is just like a little sketch that she did, like the girl like teach me how to do all of these things. And then I wanted to try to do another eye again, and I did it here, but then I didn't really like it. I want to continue, so then I stopped. Like I was trying to do again, and what you can see here attached to it is the origami things that I know how to do, and I started everything with tape because you're not supposed to exchange contacts, at least there in that hospital. But like with my roommate and other, like not everyone, but like a few people I did, to keep in contact and in touch, because like talking to people over there is much easier and also nice to talk, have contact with people who are dealing with similar situations you are. It's just it's good to know to have someone who gets with things like that. So in that, like you can open it up, like wrote contact like the last day before I went out, so we could somehow like no, I don't know if we see each other, but be connected if we wanted to and things like that. So then like people like the nurses and other people couldn't see there was something written and so that was really nice. Well, it was good to have that technique even it wasn't really allowed, but I don't really feel bad about it because also asked my mom it was okay and I told like they knew because it's just keeping in contact and feeling better together, just trying to. I know why they don't want to, because sometimes it may not feel good if someone's not doing good, you're not doing good, and I know they didn't want us like to bring like to keep us feeling bad and things like that, because to go in there is about getting help and doing what you have to feel better and get out of there and keep on living and feeling better. And also being in there before that time to spare, and also may not be able to do stupid because no, it's string and it's of course not allowed. With the like little like half pencil of like IKEA standards, I I drew like an easy sketch that is okay without erasing, without having to erase. So I did like all the line part without the colors, of course. It's just very an easy thing to do. And then the color I did it when I came back to school, like for like class assignment, like for like I also have art class in school. That's why I have like the sketchbook and everything. So like we had to do like so right. I think like I ended on a like it came out on a Wednesday after lunch, and then like I took like yeah like I took like that Wednesday like to rest and such, and the day after I went to school and it was art class and we had to do a sketch, which like any sketch was okay, which had to be like 80% color. So I decided like to get like color pencil, the top with a pencil sharpener, and I get like the pencil, not pencil eraser, like the pencil parts, and you like with the thing, just on the paper you rub them, and that's what I did. Like dance experience and doing something colorful, it seems better. So that was my experience, my first experience ever really in a psychiatric department, psych ward, whatever you want to call it again. It wasn't bad, but it was the good and the not so good, and it was a lot. And also other than that, we also saw not only therapies and also more individually to work on things and other things like that, but also we saw psychiatrists, which are the people who deal with medication and how you feel and trying to not fix you but make you feel better, so some sense. And there were other people who took medication. At the time I didn't take any medication, but during the end I did start to take some anti-depressants, like a small dose, like one of the last days I think and such, like 10 milligrams of something. And then now like recently I started to take to a bit more, so now I take 20 milligrams every day in the morning. So now there's that. And also another thing, a bit after like going out, I learned how to swallow pills, because before I had a hard time, and I still do, but like now the 20 is a bit bigger than the 10, so like I break it in half and like swallow it with a lot of water, like 2 cups of water for like half a pill, for like each half of the pill. No, 1 cup of water for half of the pill, so like 2 cups of water for 1 pill, which is cool, hydrating. But yeah, but it was also a bit hard, and after like being a week there, and like I like being there because I didn't really have to deal with the outside world and everything like that, and it just felt nice and protected that's how I felt, at least, not having to worry about school, like what other people might think. And I just kind of felt like enclosed in a protected area where people understood me and accepted me by how I was and how I was feeling, while on the outside world sometimes you just kind of have to pretend and move on and seem like you're fine, because that's just what you have to do at times, because you know it's not always that easy to talk about your feelings and all of that. You never know how people might react to them, because they're like, everybody's kind of trained, and like the nurses are like, they know what could happen, like they're trying to help you, and like if they choose to do that as their job, they must like it to some extent and want to be there. While people outside, they never, not everyone always want to hear all your problems and everything that's going on, and some people may not understand what depression is, or like you never know how they're going to take it, if you're going to take it seriously, how might they react, if they're going to tell someone, or like what will happen. So it just felt like a good protected area, but then I kind of like um, anxious about going out and like what will happen, how people will react, like asking like where were you for a week, and then I did somewhat say, but not exactly to the extent that I said now, and like said as much. But I think it was a harsh reality to think about and see how low I'd actually been feeling, and how severe the situation actually was, to actually be be sent to a psychiatric department, facility, psych ward, whatever you want to say, call it again. But it was good, because after also got a new therapist after that. I think now is helping me more, because I see her on a weekly basis, and I think it's good to actually get help and try to fix things, but it's not always as easy as some people might think, just get help and other things like that. It takes a lot of courage. It is a lot to think all these things, but to actually get help and do something takes actual courage and a lot of strength to do that. And I just want to remind people out there who have not done or been able to come out to some extent to how they've been actually feeling, or don't really know why they're feeling that way, that it can get better, even though at times it can be really hard at that moment. And I'm not saying I'm okay or like perfect and I still struggle with stuff, but who is perfect? There's no one who's really perfect. Everybody has their own issues and things they have to deal with in life, and it's just better to acknowledge it. And not everyone may want to do this and put it out there, but not take pride that you have I don't know, not really pride that you have issues, but like be proud that you're strong enough that you actually deal with them, instead of ignoring them and hiding them, and seem like they don't exist, because they do exist. You just have to find a way to not get over them, but like work through them and find a way to keep on going, even though it might always be easy, might not always be a good day, you might not always feel good, but you do have to try. It's okay to fall apart and fall down, but remember, to somewhat get back up, and eventually you will find a way to achieve things and do what you want to do. So hopefully, I know this video is going to be really long, but maybe there are going to be some who might enjoy. I don't know if enjoy this is the right word, but this might be helpful to some people who might think how it is being in a psychiatric ward, or who have been through this, or might be have to go through this if they want to or not want to go to, or thinking of going to it if they don't really feel safe or that good, or like think they have some things that need to be taken care of. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to admit that you're not okay, and that things can get better, because I know the situation you feel that never will get better. You don't really your mind is kind of clouded and think you don't really have a future. You always feel that you're going to stay that way. You're always going to feel down and stay in this dark hole of emptiness and not knowing what the future will have and feel like the future there's no point, so I even keep on going like that mindset because I know about it, I've been through it, and sometimes I still do have it at times, but you just kind of have to talk yourself out of it at times and get out of your mind and know that there is better way to deal with it, and sometimes talking about it, or you can journal, you can do art. There's many ways to deal with what you're going through, and it is possible to get better. So hopefully this video was helpful. You can write down below whatever you want, your thoughts, your feelings. If you want to reach out for help, I'm here. And hopefully get better. Everyone out there who might feel not so great in any way, whatever you're dealing with, it can get better. And if you like to see these types of videos of me, my story and stuff, things like that, you can subscribe if you want to, but I don't force you. You do what you want to. Okay, bye.